Alright guys, here we are with another video from Unique Entertainment. It is titled Brendan Schaub Argues About Bill Burr Performing at the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
I think they can live 100 years.
Me and Chin like pork ribs. I shouldn't say that.
So you know how everyone got in trouble for doing that Saudi Arabian festival, which I don't really care. I like
I want your take on that.
Well, I mean, I don't believe. Listen, if you're asking me my opinion, the only weird one is Pete Davidson. Obviously, Bill Burr's going off on Beyonce for the going to
$24 million
Gaddafi's thing. You know that's a little weird. I mean, I personally think Saudi Arabia's involvement was minimal, if anything. That was just a psyop to get us not to look who really did it, you know. But you know,
would you have went if they?
No, I wouldn't go, and the reason is my comedy wouldn't work there. I would.
Well, Sam, you also would never be invited. You're not that relevant of a stand-up comedian. I mean, you're fucking 55 years old and you're dressing like a 15-year-old. And this isn't, he's not just dressing like this because he's on The Fighter and the Kid. He dresses like this, generally.
I would just do 3 F-bombs and have my hands cut off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be bad.
I think it's weird that people get upset with this.
Yeah, Sam, you're so edgy.
It's like, well, what gets you upset? Because, like, do you watch the UFC?
I'll tell you why.
Who's in partners with them?
Because
do you your iPhone? Are you cool with the slave labor with your iPhone?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, well, the reason that the UFC and boxing can do it and golf is because they don't make political statements the way comedians do all the time. Comics are constantly, you know, pointing out all their thoughts on society.
Well, that's fair, especially these days, right? Like most comedy, most stand-up is political. It's leaning one way or the other, and that's why it sucks.
And stuff like that, so it tends to come off, if you've been a woke person, as very like shallow. I don't really care. Just say I'm taking the bag. That's why I worked for Tim Dillon before he got fired.
Yeah,
he was just like, I'm doing it for the money. And
that's what Schulte did too.
Yeah, like dude, it's like Maz Jobrani had been going in the Middle East.
Oh yeah, that's what Schultz did. Schultz said he's just taking the money, even though there's plenty of evidence out here that that's not the case, right? He's out here talking shit about all these guys that are talking shit about all these guys, and that's annoying.
Forever.
Yes.
Sebastian has zero political takes on anything.
I have no problem with it.
No, me neither.
I mean,
if you buy into the 9/11 thing, there is some issue there, and the Pete Davidson is the weirdest one.
I mean, Sam can't even say Pete Davidson right. Is Pete Davidson a hard name to say, Sam Tripoli?
And I believe probably based on Pete's past political statements that he totally believes the 9/11 story.
Yeah.
That one's weird to me.
Yeah, because his father died in 9/11.
Yeah, and you know, as a fireman. But outside of that, it's just like, you know, just say you're taking the bag.
Agreed.
Take the bag.
That's it.
I'm taking the bag, dude. I'm taking the bag.
Yeah, I think you're right, though. The ones that are getting the most heat are the ones who are kind of on their high horse and got a little woke, like Bill did for a little bit. So.
Well, really what it is it's any of you guys that decided to respond. You felt like you needed to say something to everybody saying something, and that's what made it explode. People are upset at Bill Burr because he's a hypocrite. People are upset at a lot of these comedians because they're hypocrites. They'll act one way, but as soon as there's a number amount in front of them, they flip. No problem do they flip. I mean, all of these guys are looking to sell their soul as it is. You think they give a fuck about how you feel? Where they perform? No.
So people are like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's what it's going to come back to, but Bill's like, I don't give a fuck.
But Bill's really good. Bill, the problem with Bill is that they clip it in a way that makes it sound worse than what he was saying.
Yeah.
Now, Bill's gotten some things wrong, and this is where Bill gets in trouble because he's like, I'm not on the internet. And then he says, like, stuff you're like, dog, come on, dude. Like when he was sticking up for L.A. during the fires. He's like, they're doing a great job. I'm like, bro, that's like the most idiotic thing I've ever heard from the smartest guy I know.
You gotta educate. I know, I love
You know, you can't.
The thing about Bill is he's a great comic.
No, he's an all-time great.
He's an all-time comic.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything else? What does that have to do with this at all, Brendan? Brian, excuse me. You guys are the same at this point. But it's like, what does that have to do with anything? You're doing the same thing that Schultz is doing. You're just trying to make these other guys happy because you're groveling. Right? Just groveling for no reason. Like, as if these being friends with any of these comedians, being a comedian is somehow going to benefit you. It seems to me that the guys that are outside of this shit have had a lot more to gain.
I said this about Bill Burr. Watching Bill Burr do new material is an education in comedy.
He's amazing.
Like he used to do, he doesn't.
Like, what does Brian Callen think? Like, Bill Burr is going to see this and somehow, Bill's going to give him a job or something? Like, what the fuck is it, dude? Be honest.
He got mad at my bit because I have a bit where I talk about all the times I get called the N-word. And then once was by Paul Mooney, another one was by a paraplegic, right?
Oh, so that's all the time? 2 times? You get called the N-word all the time, Sam Tripoli, but you have 2 references?
And
Also, one of the references is from a person who's in a wheelchair, I'd imagine, and the other person is dead. So what do you mean all the time?
I say the M-word in it. And I don't think he was happy with that. But I'm like, it's my experience. I'm not calling black people the M-word. And why can't I say it? And I had a comic at the Comedy Store, a black comic, come up to me. And he was like, hey, man, can I ask you a question? He goes, I go, yeah. He goes, is it true you say the M-word in your act? I go, yeah. He goes, like, why? I go, well, I'm telling the story about the times I got called the M-word. He goes, well, can't you just say N-word? I go, then it doesn't work because you don't understand the emotional impact of, like, Paul Mooney calling me the M-word or this paraplegic calling me the M-word. It's
Well, nothing about it is comedy. Nothing about that is funny. So the emotional impact that he's looking for is obviously one of rage, one of somebody getting upset. That's all you're going to get out of that because it's not funny. What's funny about that? What is even funny about sharing that story? As a white guy, you're like, yeah, I've been called, most white guys that are relatively chill probably have. But at the same time, he might have been called it, in a bad way. But at the same time, this is a random comedian who's been in LA for the last 30 years. And his 2 references are supposed to be jokes. This is something that he can't do a set without saying it. He's got to do this joke. It's an all-time joke. It's like, there's no fucking way that's the case. I don't think Sam Tripoli has one memorable joke. Just like everybody in the Rogan sphere.
super funny. And he goes, are you just trying to be funny? I go, I'm doing stand-up comedy. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Of course it's to be funny, but it's this stupid-ass rule.
What was Bill's problem with it? Because his wife's
I
black,
think he's
yeah?
sensitive.
Yeah.
And listen, dude, we're all in comedy. We all get shit on the internet. I don't like when people go after people's family. I don't think he should be saying stuff about his wife. When his wife flipped off Trump.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's First Amendment, dude. There's nothing more First Amendment than that, than flipping off the president of the United States.
But the consequences are...
There can be consequences.
You'll take heat.
You could take heat.
The repercussions is don't go online.
But don't cry about free speech and then get mad when somebody exercises their free speech.
Yeah.
Now, there is no such thing as freedom of consequences, and sometimes people mistake freedom of expression, which isn't a thing, with freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is the government cannot infringe on your right to talk. That's...
Well, I don't think sign language, if you're not a deaf person, is your language at all. Therefore, I think it is just an expression, right? Like, you didn't say anything, you just flipped off the president. Like, what? You're edgy now, too? Because your husband's that guy?
That's totally it. That was it right there. And I defend it, but it's like the whole Riyadh thing is just weird. I don't know why they were getting a lot.
So they argued and talked about Bill Burr going to Riyadh and becoming woke. I love the line from Shab. Bill Burr's wife is black, like he just like Shab was friggin' informing the world of this. But I mean, Tripoli was talking about how Bill Burr went woke, so he kind of had to expect that. But these guys, of course, agree with Bill going to perform in Riyadh because these guys would do it for a turkey and cheese sandwich.
Yeah, you're
Never
fucking
mind
right.
1 point.
So there you have it, man. It's pretty clear. Pretty clear that Brendan is talking out of school. Sam Tripoli's an idiot. And Brian is just, he's bending the knee for anybody, bro. Anybody that can keep a paycheck coming his way. But that's going to be it, guys. If you like this video, please check out the Unique Entertainment channel. Hit the like and subscribe on his channel. And then come over here. hit the like and subscribe here. Support.